particularly with these students who have more limited means. If we don't provide that ability for them to delve into these different areas, they won't have it because they don't have the resources to do it on their own. My name is Ruth Simmons. I'm president of Prairie View A&M University, which is located just outside of metropolitan Houston, Texas. A very significant proportion of our students are Pell Grant eligible, and that means that they come from families without the means to write a check for their college education. The process of even applying for support for financial aid, particularly the federal forms that parents and students are required to fill out, can present a challenge for students and their families. If there's a deadline and you have to take a midterm or another test, and you don't have something essential to be able to prepare for that, they're not going to wait for you to find a way. And so it's very important to be able to solve these issues quickly by having both a reasonable budget for students, but also the kind of emergency resources that students need to solve problems. There are so many different contingencies of that sort that are heartrending because we recognize them as human beings because we know it can happen to anybody. And yet, when you're living very close to the margin and it happens to you and there's no way to address it, that can be the difference between students remaining in school, performing well in their coursework, graduating on time, and becoming the successful person that we know they can be. A student who is not able to fund their own education doesn't lack the same ambition that others have. They're just as ambitious for their future, except that they can't fund the things that will take them to the level where they want to be. So the Student Freedom Initiative is aptly named, I think, because it is all about freedom, after all. The freedom to work up fully to one's capacity, the freedom to be competitive with other STEM students across the country, the freedom to satisfy one's highest aspirations. And so it has become a more complete program, and that is something that I certainly think we should all celebrate. I think in some ways the most valuable thing about the initiative is the fact that it asserts so strongly that people care about these students. And sometimes for the students who are on the margin or who experience tremendous gaps in support, it's really just saying that, okay? That we know the problems that you have to deal with, and we are committed to helping address them. Sometimes what keeps students enrolled is all that support at their back, and they don't want to disappoint anyone who's helped to keep them on the path to success. So that support is the most important thing in some ways about the initiative.